form is equivalent to 5.1354 times 10 to the negative 4. So we should know how to do this now. We've got a 4 here, well, a negative 4, but the 4 means 4 jumps. We've got to think, are we moving the point 4 to the right? Well, if we move this point to the right, our number would be getting bigger. It would turn from 5 to 51 to 513, and it would go so on. It would get bigger. And this negative number here, this negative sign, it reminds us that we're going to end up with a smaller number. And the 4 tells us how many jumps. So to make it smaller, we move to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. So our point ends up right there. So we need to clean up our answer, and also we need to figure out what to do with those scoops. So inside each scoop there's going to be a 0. So our final answer is going to be 0.0051354. And some people like to put a 0. I do. I like to put a 0 in front of the point, but you don't need it. But you know, you should try and put it there. Okay, let's take a look. Number 20. So we're moving on. Number 20 is, let's put it right here. We can put it here. Number 20 is asking us to evaluate this expression, which is 10 to the negative 4. So again, negative exponents. We need to stare at this negative sign, take it out, turn it, it becomes a 1. Now, what do we have left after we've removed that? We have 10 to the 4th power, and we just draw a line in between them. And 10 to the 4th power underneath. Now, I'm not seeing an answer that looks like that in our multiple choice. So we got to think, either we did something wrong, or we can do something to this to make it look like one of the answers were being offered. And I think that's the case. I'm pretty confident right now. Now 10 to the 4th is the same as 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. So 10 times 10 is 100. If we times it by 10 again, we get 1,000. And we have to times 10 by itself 4 times, so there's another 0 that's coming. So 1 over 10,000. And that is in fact an answer that's up there. So we're all set. 20 we know is 1 over 10,000. Okay, 21 is asking us which of the following is the square of 18. Now we've got to be very careful here. The square of 18. So often we are used to square roots right now, especially at a time when we're learning this stuff. Now the square, it doesn't say square root. The square of 18 is the same as 18 to the 2nd power. So that's 18 times 18. And if we multiplied this whole thing out, we would end up with 324. And this is one of your options that's there. So that was number 21. Okay, let's take a look at number 22. So 22 is asking us a similar question to one we've had already, but it's 10 to the 10 divided by 10 to the negative 2nd power. So we're dividing, and when we see the division sign and the same bases, we know we can use this division law of exponents. So division law says that we subtract the exponents. And so we have 10 subtract negative 2. Now subtracting negative actually turns into a plus. So we have 10 to the 10 plus 2, which equals 10 to the 12th power. 10 to the 12th power is our answer. And that's an option right there. Okay, let's take a look at number 23. 23 is asking us which square root is approximately equal to 6.48. Which square root is approximately equal to 6.48? And it says use your calculator. So one method that we could do is we could go through our calculator typing in the square root of 65 and see what it equals. We could do b, which is the square root of 4.2. and find out what this equals, and so on and so on. Could do this with all of them. Another thing that we could do is, because our answers here are 65, 4.2, 6.48, and 42, our answers are very different. So one thing we could actually do is think to ourselves, well, this is 6.48. This is, almost 6. So if I'm trying to find a number that the square root equals 6, the way to do that is to think to myself, well, what's 6 squared? And if 6 squared is 36, and if I believe that this is a good estimate of this, if I think that these are really good estimates, then my answer has to be somewhere around 36. And in fact, C gives us an answer of the square root of 6.48, and D gives us an answer of the square root of 42. So the closest possible answer for this is more than 36. It's actually 42, the square root of 42. Which kind of makes sense, because really we reduced our 6.48 when we estimated to 6. So we did really get rid of a chunk of change right there. So yeah, so our answer would be D because of the estimation, or because of using our calculator and figuring out that square root of 42 is 6.48. Okay, so that was number 23. Please pause and take a look, as I keep saying, through any of these, just to refresh your mind. Okay, let's take a look. Which one did we just do? We just did 23. So let's take a look at number 24. Okay, 24 is asking us to put the sets of numbers written in scientific notation in size order. So here, because scientific notation is always written with a number between 1 and 10, we then always have the times 10, and then we have a different exponent. The key thing here is, what is this exponent? And generally, the scientific notation with the highest exponent is going to be the biggest number. The only confusion that we have is if we have two numbers with the same exponent here, the same power, then we need to look at this number between 1 and 10. So as I'm looking through number 24, I'm seeing that we have powers of, for A, 6, and then 6, and then 1, and then -7. And so the 6, 1, and -7 are in the correct order of biggest to smallest, but then the 6 and the 6 for 4.2 and for 5, they are mixed up, because 5 times 10 to the 6 is more than 4.2 times 10 to the 6. For B, I have a negative exponent first and followed by positive, so I know it's not B. For C, I have, and in fact, I'm just looking back at the question, and we're asked to list these in order from least to greatest. So A, we could have ruled out straight away because we have the bigger exponents first. B, we do have the smallest exponent first, the -7. Then we jump to exponent 1, and then to the exponents 6 and 6. So as I'm comparing the number at the front, the 4.2, well, 4.2 times 10 to the 6 is definitely smaller than 5 times 10 to the 6. So for B, for 24, B would be our answer. Okay, so I'll save a little bit of space. I won't write all that stuff out, but the key thing is we're looking at the exponent. Is it positive, negative? And we can tell that a number is bigger if it has a bigger exponent on that 10. Okay, so that was number 24. Okay, so let's take a look at number 25. Okay, 25. Okay, number 25 is also kind of a quick one. We have parentheses 3 squared all to the -5. So again, this is the power law. The 3 to the second power all to the -5th power. We have to keep the 3, that's our base, and we do 2 times by the -5. So this gives us 3 to the -10, and that's our answer right there.